This is a root sucker from a tree of heaven, a tree that is rapidly spreading across America and most of Europe. And this is a documentary that I made to better direct attention toward its spread. This is a photo I took during my trip to Maine this summer, and only recently I discovered that I captured the tree of heaven all the way up there in Rockland. This prompted me to check other photos, and sure enough, I found another one in Acadia National Park, which is also in Maine. Now, shifting focus towards Columbia, where I currently am going to college, the trees of heaven are largely present around the cities and highways that are around here. These root suckers are found right outside the student parking lot on Barnwell Street and seem red and fiery as they're pretty stressed during this current cold weather. This also can give them more of an incentive to spread as the mother tree enters the winter. These root suckers will probably die off, though. It's sort of a last-ditch effort for the mother tree right before everything goes dormant. Looking around, though, there really doesn't seem to be a mother tree in sight, which is kind of scary. This is a photo of my raised garden beds in spring 2021, just after I had planted some green beans and cantaloupe. But by the end of the summer, the trees of heaven had rapidly overtaken the backside of the garden, towering over everything I had planted that year. This is a section of brickwork that my family had laid in the 60s, and in a matter of 2 years, this was a site for the trees of heaven to break through, leaving holes in the cement and sending the tall root suckers up out of the ground. This is also next to one of my other garden beds, and it's also worth noting that they can stop the germination of some of the seeds, so every year has had a little worse yield because of the toxins they put out into the soil. This photo is particularly scary because I chopped this root in half before the spring, and the root suckers still managed to stay unaffected even after the cut. And, these stumps were pretty much the result of my dealing with them using the cut stump method, and didn't really have any results. And these pictures were taken in early March, so you can see how they just pick right back up to where they left off last season. And this is what I thought was the mother tree, but ended up just being a really tall root sucker. And I'm just painting around where all the hollow spires were left. This is by the river in a local park in Greenville, South Carolina. And you can see the same thing just along the side of the river. So the question now becomes, what do we do about this as it's rapidly spreading across the country? And there's a couple solutions that are being discussed, but the only one that proves promising is the glyphosate. But as it has many side effects to kill everything around it, it's not a great look for how we're going to deal with it. So remember, if you see these in your neighborhood and you're able to pull them up, pull them out of the ground or chop them, because if you don't, they're going to spread every year.